Real estate investor Brett Kammerman is suing 19-year-old student Stephen Beck and his father, Tony Beck, for having him falsely arrested. Stephen stands by his story that Brett assaulted him.
Now, this is case number 300 on the calendar in the matter of Kammerman versus Beck. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, folks. Have seats.
Mr. Kammerman, it is your claim that the defendants, both father and son, had you falsely arrested. You want to be reimbursed for that false arrest, bail money, attorney's fees, pain and suffering, aggravation, etc., etc.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Beck and Master Beck say that they absolutely were within their rights to have you arrested because you did, in fact, put your hands on one of them and threaten the other. So that's what this case is about. How do you know each other?
I didn't know them prior to this. The way that we came in contact with each other is I was driving my car and going to my house to pick up some tools to do some work on some of my rental properties. And Master Beck was parked blocking the right-of-way.
How was he blocking the right-of-way?
He was parked in an alleyway. We live in Newport Beach, which is a very small beach community that has an alleyway to get to the homes.
Okay, so you have to drive through a common alleyway in order to get to all of the homes.
That's true.
Okay. What were you doing there, Stephen?
I was loading my surfboards on top. My car was still on, so I wasn't fully parked. But
well, your car was stopped, wasn't it?
yeah, I was out standing on my tire. Oh,
When I want a whole story, I'll ask you.
okay.
Other than that, if you can answer me just the questions, 1 or 2 words will be enough. So the car was, in fact, stopped because you were loading something onto the car.
Yes.
So what happened?
First of all, I didn't observe any surfboards. I had motioned to him to move.
I mean, move and pull out of the driveway.
Yeah, just to get out of the way so I could get to where I was
in
going.
order to pull out of the way, he had to go through the alleyway someplace else.
Yes, just pull in front of actually the home that he was in front of at the alleyway. He could have pulled into the street, and there was an area to park that he could have been fine there, or pull back where he wanted to. This is common.
Just a second.
Okay, sorry.
So you could have loaded your surfboards by pulling into where your house was.
Yes.
Okay. So he didn't move.
That's correct.
And what did you do?
I motioned to him to move. He acknowledged I was there and then walked around like, tough luck, I'm going to do as I please. So I thought, okay, I'll get out of the car and approach him. Maybe he'll realize that he needs to move.
I'm bigger than he is.
Yeah, a little bit. So I went up to him. I thought that would do it. That didn't do it. And so I said things like, do you need help to put the key in the ignition so you can turn the car on and move the car? And then his girlfriend started screaming at me.
The other girlfriend? What was she saying?
She was just screaming, leave him alone. You can't do, just unintelligible things.
Well, what were you doing to him, Mr. Kammerman?
I was actually doing nothing except saying, do you need somebody to show you how to? I was being
Mr. Kammerman,
facetious.
When I ask you to tell me what happened, it's not going to be one of, and then I said, and then he said, and then I said, and then he said, because I don't believe that. Do you understand?
I can understand that, yes, Your Honor.
So, let's backtrack a little bit. You got out of the car after Stephen over here was dissing you.
Yes.
Showing off for his girlfriend.
Exactly.
Because he's a kid.
Yes.
Certainly not doing the right thing, Stephen. When someone pulled up behind you in the car, the right thing to do was to have gotten in the car with your girlfriend and moved the car out of the way so that that person could drive through the driveway. Do you understand?
Okay. Yeah, I say one thing?
Yeah.
I motioned him just 1 minute, just like you did, 1 minute, so I could buckle it, so I can move it. It takes 30 seconds, and it's no big deal.
Stephen, this whole thing didn't start because of 30 seconds, Stephen. If you live until you're 100, you're not going to be as smart as I am. It's just the way that God crafted you. There's a certain common sense to life. I understand it. I can't do certain things, but there's a certain common sense that I have. I'm not saying that he did the right thing, Mr. Kammerman, because he's still going to give me, and then I said, and then he said. But I'm telling you that you did the wrong thing. Now, Mr. Kammerman, let's get back to, and then I said. Go ahead.
I was yelling at him and trying to get him to move the car, and I was actually shocked to even know that anybody else was in the car, and then I heard her screaming, leave him alone, and then I realized since she was escalating everything, I decided I'm going to leave this alone and go back to my car. I went back to my car, turned the engine off, locked it, and proceeded to my house. As I got halfway across the street, Mr. Stephen Beck then decided to get into his vehicle and then move his vehicle to the spot that I said that he could move to that would work. So I realized he had done that. Then I went immediately back to my car and moved my car and put it in a legal parking spot near my house. At that point, I figured everything was over. I was loading things into my car. I made comments. They made comments about things. I yelled and said...
You mean that you were yelling at each other?
We were yelling at each other. Across the street, the girlfriend started saying, "Come on, hit us. We can have you thrown in jail. Come on, hit us. My mom's a lawyer. I can have you thrown in jail." And I said, "Well, yeah, I know that. I'm not going to touch anybody."
No, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so that was a lie as well. I went back into my house, came back out, and they had called the police. And Stephen had made up a wild story that I had choked him and smashed him against the car.
Okay, so, and that's why you were arrested. You have a copy of the complaint?
Yes.
May I see it, please?
Yes.
Oh, bird, there, you know that pesky fly that comes in here every once in a while? It's back. You sit down, Tony, for a second. Come up here. What's your name?
My name? Michelle Sabaris.
Michelle. Okay, Michelle. What did you see?
I saw this gentleman, or Stephen was putting his surfboards on top. He was standing on his tire, buckling his boards. Brett came around through the alley, drove in, parked right behind, and honked his horn. And Stephen gestured him 1 second, and then right away, I see him because I'm looking back out of the back. I'm in the passenger seat. He starts getting furious in his car. What I saw a gesture of the finger. Then he gets out of the car immediately, comes right up to Stephen, and their size is different. And I see he comes up to him viciously and goes like this.
Doesn't hit him.
Doesn't hit him, not right then. Next thing I know, I see Stephen against the back, the side of the door, the back door, and Brett had his hands on his neck. And then he opened the door, tried pushing him in the car, was trying to get him so he could move his car. And then from there on...
And you're sitting in the passenger seat all this time?
Yes, and I'm in the passenger seat, and when I see him put his hands on his neck, that's when I start yelling, yes. And I got scared, and he wasn't a minor, but what I yelled, because I thought he was going to beat him up, I yelled, "Get your hands off him, he's a minor."
You mean if he was older, it would have been okay?
Well, no, but their size is considerable, and
He's always going to be that size. Right?
Right.
Probably.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I don't believe you. Because that's my job. Because I've been doing this job for a very long time. Because you're his mother, and I don't believe you. Do you understand?
No.
Well, I'm sorry. I explained it as best as I can. Mull it over for a while. Maybe you'll get it.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Brett Kammerman says he was falsely arrested when Stephen Beck accused him of assault. Stephen says that during an argument, Brett choked him.
Anybody else witness this? Who are you?
I'm Patty Kammerman. I'm Brett's mother.
Where were you when this happened?
I was waiting across the street for Brett to come and pick up tools. And I never saw Brett touch him, push him, or
Well, what
do
did you
any of those
see?
things. I saw just what Brett had said, that he talked to him and he yelled at him, and everybody was very loud and yelling. And Brett went like this and got back in his car, turned the car off, came across the street.
And when you saw all of that, when you saw all of that yelling and all of that gesturing, did you stay in your house?
No, I wasn't in the house.
You just waited?
I was outside.
Did
waiting.
you come across the street to where they were?
No, I was.
Why not?
Because I didn't know what was going on. And I was just standing there.
Well, you're his mother. Maybe he was going to be in trouble. Maybe somebody's going to take
I
a
knew
gun
he
and hurt.
wouldn't. No,
What?
I knew that there was no problem. This happens dozens of times during the summer, where somebody blocks the driveway, somebody else yells, everybody moves out of the way, and it's over with.
Have a seat, Ms. Cameron.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Your Honor, she was inside the house at the time. She was not outside. I made sure of that because I looked for witnesses
There's nobody present.
to witness it. I wanted witnesses.
Okay, your mother saw nothing. I don't believe her. I don't believe her. Okay, so then the police came and you were arrested. Even she knows she's not telling me the truth. Then the police came and you were arrested?
Yes.
Now, what happened with Tony Beck? Stand up, Mr. Beck. Go ahead. By the way, if there are no other witnesses, what are all you people doing here?
They're my character witnesses.
I don't need a character witnesses. I've determined you're a character. Go ahead.
After I was bailed out of jail, I went to Becky and Donnie's house.
Who's Becky and Donnie?
Becky
Raise
and
your
Donnie
hand.
are neighbors of mine.
Raise Becky and Donnie. And
Well,
Becky and Donnie here?
Grandchildren.
Your grandchildren.
My brother-in-law and sister-in-law.
Okay.
And I talked with them, and they have bad blood on this side of the family. And they said, you know, if you would, please leave us out of it. We don't want to have to come to court. We already don't get along with them. And the dad, it's a situation where they didn't want to be involved, and so
Okay.
I didn't involve them.
You went down to talk to them. After you talked to them, what happened with Tony?
While I was talking to Becky, some man came running through the house and confronted me and said, keep your hands off my son. And I said, you know, you really should get your facts straight. Your son's lying to people about this. I didn't do anything, and I don't even know why I was taken to jail.
Okay. So nothing, according to you, nothing happened with Tony.
Exactly.
Okay.
But then Tony filed a temporary restraining order against me,
Well, that
lying to the authorities, saying that I had threatened him.
Not lying.
Now, why don't you tell me your version,
Thank
Mr.
you, Your
Beck,
Honor.
of the events?
I came through the house and I was off because the confrontation he had with my son. And the words I used when I came up to him is I said, why are you manhandling my son? And he asked, who are you? And Becky says, he's the father of Stephen. He said, get out of here. I don't like you. Get out of here. So and Becky asked me to leave. I left. As I was leaving, as far as his taunting, when I was leaving, just his character, he says, what's your name? I says, Don knows my name. And he says, oh, don't even know your own name? And this is the same type of antics that he used with the other kids in the neighborhood as far as taunting them.
Mr. Beck,
Yes, ma'am.
why did you file an application for a restraining order against
The
him?
restraining
sir,
order
is
was
what I'm
filed-
asking you, sir.
The restraining order was filed due to a phone call that he made to my father-in-law. He said he had the intentions
Just a
of...
second. Did you make a phone call to his father-in-law?
His father-in-law and I were very good friends. We both are real estate investors. We'd been friends for a long time. I wanted to call him and let him know that whatever stories are going around weren't...
Just a second.
Your Honor,
Do you
I
have an affidavit from your relative?
Yes, ma'am. This is the
Now, I'd like
report
to
that
see-
my relative went down to the police
I'd like
office.
to see what the affidavit says from your relative, because that formed the basis of your application
Yes, ma'am.
for a protective order. Well, I'd like to see it. This is the statement that is attributed to you, that the victim, whoever your relative is, came to the police front desk to report an annoying phone call he had received. The victim states that on this 20th of July, 2002, his grandson was battered by the suspect cameraman. The victim states that on the same day at approximately 16:30 hours, he received a call from Mr. Cameraman who said, "This is Brett. I know you know I am a martial arts expert. And just to let you know, I intend to sue the Beck family for false arrest. I want to assure you that to your grandchildren, I represent no harm or threat." That is the conversation that is attributed to you.
It's partially true.
Just a minute, what do you want?
I wanted to tell you that I was listening to the phone call.
I don't believe a word you say.
Why not?
Because I don't believe a word you say. I don't believe that you either went out and saw what was happening from outside your house, madam, or that you heard this conversation. I don't believe you. Because that's my job. Because I've been doing this job for a very long time. Because you're his mother, and I don't believe you. I don't believe that he is telling me exactly what happened with this young man. I believe that this gentleman so far had no cause to file for a restraining order against him. No cause. He had no cause. Well, that's clear. But I don't believe your version of the events with Stephen. And therefore, I don't believe you saw what you say you saw. Do you understand?
No.
Well, I'm sorry. I explained it as best as I can. Mull it over for a while. Maybe you'll get it. My question to you, Mr. Cameraman, is what happened during this case when it was in court?
The situation that occurred is I was starting a new corporation.
Don't give me your whole story, Mr. Cameraman. I don't want to hear a whole story about you didn't want this whole thing to drag on.
That's the story. That's what I was going to tell you. If that's not
listen,
something... that-
listen, how come I read your mind?
Well, it was a
I've been
donation
here-
that I made
no, I've
to...
been-
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I've been here a long time, sir. I've been doing this job for a long time. What happened with the case, Mr. Cameraman?
I was told it takes a while for this to go, that there are going to be 4 or 5 pretrial hearings.
And? Keep
And
going.
I told my attorney that I was tired of this, that it didn't happen, that they are lying, and it's not fair that I have to deal with this for so long. Can you get it taken care of quickly or more quickly? And so
and
they
your
said,
attorney said
the
to
attorney
you,
said,
I can take care of it more quickly. This is what you're going to
yeah,
have
if you
to
make
do.
a donation to the Emergency Victims Fund, then they will let it go, because we have to give something to the DA so he feels like he won. And so at that time, I listened to the attorney and
No,
made the donation.
That was a mistake.
It was
sir.
a mistake. And
Because
at the time I
because
asked
a
him about it.
$1,000 donation, whatever it is, whether it's in the form of restitution, whether it's in the form of, listen, I'm not going to be able to successfully meet these charges and I just want the whole thing over, whether it's in the form of, I'm too busy to continue with this, someone who feels as if they have been wrongly arrested, forced to post bail, handcuffed, et cetera, does not make a donation of $1,000 to make
felt
the
the same
charges
way.
go away,
I
which is
agree.
what you did. So
I
you
agree
have no
with you.
case.
Well, I agree with you,
have
on
no,
that. That's
you have
why
no
I
case. It was a
discussed
mistake. It was a mistake. So what do you want me to do? You made a mistake.
Okay, well, at the time, I had never been in a criminal situation. I
Listen
listened
to
to the
me.
criminal attorney. I will call
What do
him
you want?
and let
What
him
do you
know.
want me to do, Mr. Cameraman?
I'm telling you what the situation is, and what I'm asking
You're
you
an
to do is that
intelligent. You're an intelligent man, Mr. Cameraman.
Thank you.
You are an intelligent man. An intelligent man knows that when you pay money into the criminal justice system, it is almost a signal, at least it is some indication that you feel as if you are in some way wrong. That's the way it's interpreted, Mr.
I can understand
Cameraman.
your interpretation.
That's the way it's interpreted,
However, that's
sir.
not the case. And
Well-
that's why I brought character witnesses.
I'm not
to
interested
tell you
in
what
your
type of
character
person-
witnesses, sir,
But
and I don't believe your mother. I believe that you overreacted to this young man, and I do believe that you put your hands on him. I don't
do.
believe that you hit him.
You believe that I
don't-
put my hands on him?
Yes, I don't believe that you hit him. I don't believe that you hurt him. I believe that you lost your temper when he didn't move that car fast enough. And I think he was showing off for his girlfriend.
He was.
And I think that what he was doing was rude and inconsiderate, and he's 19 years old, and you're a lot older, and you should have cooled it, let it pass.
That's what I
And you
did.
didn't.
I did
And
do
you
that.
didn't. He, of course, had no right to bring you to court for the restraining order, because you had no grounds for a restraining order, Tony Beck. You behaved badly, sir. You can't act like a brat. When you act like a brat, things happen. Sometimes you're going to meet up with people who are bigger and stronger, and you can't anticipate what their mental state is going to be, so you have to be respectful of other people's time. You have to be respectful of other people's property. You want to load your car, you don't pull your car unless you absolutely have to in a place that inhibits somebody else from getting by. That's just being respectful. That doesn't give him license to overreact to you, because he could have done exactly what he did 5 minutes later, which is to pull his car into another spot, leave it, and go across the street to get his tools, or at least that's what he was trying to do, to go across the street to get his other tools. Anyway, you have no case, Mr. Cameron. You paid $1,000. $1,000 is some indication of guilt. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
All over Newport Beach, you have this type of situation, and most people are respectful, move out of the way. It's just one of those things. You say, how long are you going to be? Can you move out of the way? They say a couple minutes. You say, no problem. You sit. If they thumb their nose at you, you just go, come on, have some class.
Okay, grab me by the throat, like so, put one arm here, and slam me against the car. And then you try to force me into my car to drive it away.
Stephen Beck had to lie and fill out an arrest warrant to have me arrested to show off for his girlfriend.
Brett is like he's like a second grade schoolyard bully. Almost everything he said is a lie and fabricated. He's not telling the truth.
Yeah, I have a hard feelings towards a family that lies about things and continues to lie about things, absolutely.
He's a grown man, but he's incapable of what it takes to act like a mature adult.
20-year-old student Cecilia Durazo is suing her former live-in boyfriend, 22-year-old web designer Carlos Shanlate, for a loan for furniture. Carlos is countersuing, claiming Cecilia broke into his apartment and destroyed the furniture in question.
Yeah, that's case number 141 on the calendar in the matter of Durazo versus Shanlate. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat, please.
Mr. Razzo, I've read your complaint, and according to what I've read, you were living in Syracuse, New York.
Yes, I attend school there.
Mr. Shalate was living in New York City.
That's correct, ma'am.
He was smitten and decided to move from New York City to Syracuse, New York, a decision that he lived to regret.
That's correct, ma'am.
According to you, he moved there in April of 2002, correct?
Yes.
And he got an apartment. The apartment had no furniture, and according to your complaint, you loaned him money to buy furniture so that he'd have a couch to sit on and a bed to sleep on, and he owes you $610. Mr. Shalante said that The furniture was a gift because he relocated to live with you. The money that was advanced was never intended to be a loan. You couldn't stand the fact that he was sleeping on the floor and sitting on a crate, so that you agreed to buy him the furniture. In addition to that, Mr. Shalante says that 4 months later you unceremoniously dumped him, right?
That's correct, ma'am.
And then broke into his apartment, causing him to have to change the locks. He ultimately went to the police. He lost a day's wages, which he's counterclaiming for. He was also fired from his job because he worked at the school where you were a student, and they made him leave the school, and on and on and on. And aside from everything else, he hated Syracuse.
That's correct, Your Honor.
So he's counterclaiming. So let's hear about the furniture.
Yes, he got an apartment. At the time, he had very little people that were willing to help him, including his parents.
Well, because he was moving to be close to you.
Which I did not ask him to do. I asked him not to move to Syracuse.
Really?
Yes.
You told him not to move to Syracuse?
Yes, several times.
Is that right?
Actually, Your Honor, what she had said was that she didn't think it was a good idea. However, she left the moving up to me.
She didn't think it was a good idea?
Yeah.
Because why?
Just because I had to move, job that I was working at, I had to leave that job, had to find a new job up there. Those kind of circumstances, Your Honor.
So she didn't think it was so smart for you to leave New York City?
Yes.
So why did you come?
I moved because I thought that I had enough money. I thought it'd be best for us maybe to be a little closer together. There were times where there was complaints about, you know, us not being able to see each other as often.
Who was complaining, you or her?
Both parties, Your Honor.
Is that right?
More so him.
I gather. Okay, so he got there. Let's go.
He asked me to loan him the money to buy the furniture.
What did he say?
He didn't have money. He said, you know, he began working at the university. As soon as he gathered enough money, he would pay me back. Mr. Plord, who is also Mr. Shanlate's witness, was present when we bought the furniture. I bought him, well, I loaned him, I put it on my credit card. Knives, spoons, a little table that we bought, and a futon.
Were you present when this furniture was purchased?
Yes.
Step up, please. How do you know these people?
Well, she was a resident advisor at Marion Hall, and so was I, and that's how we met. And then when he moved to Syracuse, I met him because he was there.
Tell me what you know about the furniture.
It's a futon, it's a stainless
Oh, you were
steel.
there when it was purchased?
Yes. I brought the mattress home in my car.
Did you hear any conversation between the plaintiff and the defendant with regard to loan, gift?
She just put it on her credit card and didn't say much about repayment or anything.
You didn't hear any of that?
I didn't hear anything like that.
Good. You could have seen. Okay. So you put $610 on your credit card. Is that what you put on the credit card?
Yes, we've met several times after we broke up, even for lunch, discussing when payment would be made. So there's been plenty of discussion about the payment of the furniture, and Mr. Plord was also there when Mr. Shanlate admitted that he did owe me that money.
Okay, fine. Now, sir, you say that she broke into the apartment and she destroyed the furniture.
Yes.
Is that true?
That is true, Your Honor.
Is that true?
I did not break into his apartment. We had a
Did you destroy the furniture?
No, I did not
Did
destroy.
you do anything to the furniture?
I will tell you how he claims.
No. Tell me what you did to the furniture.
I went to his apartment. I had the key, which he gave me. I went. He has a very narrow spiral staircase, and I slipped. It was myself and another girl. It was about my size. It's a pretty heavy futon, just the mattress, and we were unable to get it down the spiral staircase, so we had to throw it over.
Throw it over what?
The staircase is a spiral and it's thin. We could not physically get it through the staircase, so we had to throw it over.
And what? Put your hand down.
Okay.
And what happened when you threw it over? You mean just the mattress?
Well, yeah, we got it down there. Like I said, I slipped, and we got it down there. And then once we were trying to get it in my friend Kenny's car, who took us to get the mattress, and we weren't able to. So we left to go find Carlos, so I can retrieve the rest of my items, the futon frame and everything else I had in the apartment.
Could you tell me what you did with the futon? I
mattress?
I lost you at it. You couldn't get it in your car after you threw it over the
Yeah, I left
railing.
it there because there's nowhere I could not.
Where?
I left it on the ground outside because
You get nothing for the furniture.
the futon frame is.
You get nothing for the furniture. Madam. Zero.
The mattress costs only about $200 compared to.
I don't care. In order for him to be able to use the futon frame, he has to have a futon. You destroyed the futon.
He had a year to pay me back for it. And
Then if you had waited and done exactly what you did by filing a small claims case against him, you would have gotten your money if I found that, indeed, he promised to pay you back. But what you did was, first you went to his house, you destroyed part of the property, that put him in a position where he couldn't use it, because in order to use a futon frame, because I know what they look like, you have to have a futon mattress. So either he had to go out and buy a new futon mattress so that he could use it, or he gets rid of the frame. You get nothing for the furniture. Do you understand?
Do I get my furniture back?
What furniture back?
It belongs to me. I paid for it. So can I have the futon?
If he's got it,
Your
do you
Honor,
have the frame?
It is currently in Jonathan Plord's dorm room.
Oh, fine.
So she can go pick it up also.
Perfect. Just a second.
All right.
So far, you're not doing badly, right?
Yes.
She's going to come over and get the frame.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Jonathan? Sippity-doo-dah.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
That I do not have. He has not returned my phone calls.
Listen, I'm getting really frustrated. And I shouldn't be frustrated. I'm too old to be frustrated.
And later today,
The change out of my piggy bank is missing.
You think she took all that?
I'm not sure. From what
Give me
she's
a break.
telling me,
She doesn't look like the kind of person who would steal your property, madam.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Cecilia Durazo claims ex-boyfriend Carlos Shanlate owes for a loan to buy furniture. Carlos says Cecilia destroyed the furniture in question.
Let's get to your counterclaim. So we've just taken care of your claim. Futon frame, back to her, 5 days.
Do I get the money for the spoons and table and
No.
everything else?
No, you don't get the money for the spoons. Now let's move on. She used the key, she acknowledges, to go into your apartment, so you had to change the locks. On what date did she go into your apartment?
I believe that was April 26th. It was a Saturday.
And when did you leave that apartment?
About a week and a half later.
Now, do you have a receipt from a locksmith for changing the locks on the apartment?
No, my landlord did the lock change. He charged me for the lock. And
Show me.
I don't have it.
Well, that's what we call proof. In court, we need proof.
I do have photographs of the damage to the apartment, which caused me to lose my security deposit, though, Your Honor.
Show me proof that the landlord kept your security deposit. Do you have that?
No, that I do not have. He has not returned my phone calls.
Listen, I'm getting really frustrated. And I shouldn't be frustrated. I'm too old to be frustrated. When you come to court, you have to have proof. Do you understand?
I understand, Your Honor.
You don't have proof for me. It's very easy to get a letter, statement, showing that I'm not returning your security deposit, because I would assume that if the apartment wasn't a wreck, you would have gotten your security deposit back, right?
Yes, also on top of that, because I was forced to resign from my job, I had to abruptly leave Syracuse, and my lease, which I have here, states that I have to let him know 2 months ahead of time that I'm leaving, or else he keeps the security deposit.
There you go. And you had to leave Syracuse because, according to you, you worked at the same place that she worked.
Yes, and my...
Well, I mean, that's all hearsay. That all would be hearsay, why you had to leave. But you did leave.
Yes.
Now you are apart from each other. And I assume you're back in New York City?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Working?
At the current time, I'm working with a web design company down in Miami, working from home.
I don't care where you're working from. You're working.
Yes.
Are you living alone or with your parents?
Currently, I'm living with my parents looking for another apartment.
Perfect. That sounds fine. And you're going to get your futon frame back. That's perfect. Goodbye. Good luck. Have a happy life.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He knows that he owes me the money,
She seems to forget the bills that I have paid.
and he refuses to pay me.
However, we had an argument,
He had another bill to pay.
and she didn't confront me as, as a normal human being would.
He just didn't have the money.
She came at me with rage.
There was always an excuse.
You can't trust some women.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter. Schultz versus Minks. Step forward, please.
18-year-old college student Brad Schultz is suing his former friend, 18-year-old student Kelly Minks, for spilling beer on his computer during a party at his dorm room.
Mr. Schultz, where do you go to school, sir?
The University of the Pacific.
Where is that?
That's in Stockton, California.
You bored there?
Not really. I play baseball for the school's team.
Oh, what year are you in?
I was a freshman. I'm now going to be a sophomore.
Mr. Schultz, do you know what the word bored means?
Yes, I do now. Yes, I lived in the dorm rooms
Now
at University of the Pacific.
Somebody whispered what it means. I wasn't interested in what you play and at what sports you play. God, I feel like jaywalking. According to your complaint, the defendant, who was your former roommate's girlfriend, spilled beer all over your laptop. You wanted to replace the laptop computer because it's ruined. She says that it was you or your friends during some sort of drunken party caused the laptop to get ruined. You want to tell me when this happened, Mr. Schultz?
It was April 18th.
Okay. Were you having a party in your room?
Yes, we were.
How many people were in your room?
There was around 11.
Now, what makes you think that Ms. Minks ruined your laptop?
Would you like me to go ahead and tell you the whole story of the night, or?
No, I don't want to have to guess, Mr. Schultz. I just want you to tell me what makes you think that she hurt your laptop.
Well,
I'm not interested in the whole party, sir.
There,
a lot of people in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. And everybody's drinking.
At the time that
And everybody's drinking.
Not everybody.
Half of the people were drinking.
Sure.
And you're not allowed to drink in the dorm rooms, is that right?
I don't believe so.
is not an answer.
I do not believe so.
Correct. So you were having a party where there was illegal drinking going on in your room. And a whole bunch of people, some of whom were drinking and some of whom were watching. Now, could we get to the proof that you have that Miss Minks caused the damage to your laptop?
Okay. The only two in the room at the time that the computer was found broken were them two.
Okay. And approximately what time was this?
This was 2:30 in the morning.
And what time did the party end?
I left the party, leaving behind them two and some of their friends. I returned that night at 2:30 in the morning and found just them two alone in the room.
Yes.
So I came down, sat down, and used my computer. And they asked me to leave. They said they wanted some privacy, and I said okay, and I left for a half hour. I went right across the hall, and I came back a half hour, and the door was locked. And so I started knocking on the door, telling her that I wanted to come in my room, and they were both saying, no, you're not coming in. Go sleep in the study lounge down the hall. And I wasn't about to go sleep in the study lounge, so I just continued to knock, and finally I started having...
Mr. Schultz, is what you're telling me, sir, that you came in and used your computer at 2:30 in the morning?
Yes, I did.
How come you didn't put that in your complaint, sir?
Excuse me?
How come you didn't write that in your complaint, Mr. Schultz? Miss Minks, did Mr. Schultz come back to the room at 2:30 and sit down and use his computer for a half hour?
Nope. What happened?
Just answer my question. Are you the roommate?
Yes.
Stand up. Name?
Ben Hatch.
Mr. Hatch, did Mr. Schultz come back to the room at 2:30 in the morning and use the computer for a half hour?
Well, the first thing he did, it was already locked, and we were watching a movie. And what he did, he came in, grabbed pistachio nuts, stuffed them down his shirt, and that's all I remember. And then after that, we told him to leave. That's why we wanted him to leave.
You answer my question.
I never saw him touch the computer.
Right, because he didn't come in to use the computer. Sit down.
Your Honor, I have a witness that saw me sit down and use the computer.
Let me see the witness.
Is a statement from him.
I don't take statements from a witness.
Okay, well...
And if you thought it was important enough to get a statement from a witness who saw that, sir, or from a friend of yours, then you would have put it in your complaint. So you didn't sit down and use the computer at 2:30 in the evening. No, I don't believe, Mr. Schultz, that you used the computer at 2:30.
Your Honor,
Let's start with that. I don't believe you used the computer.
I used the computer, Your Honor, and I'm sorry that you don't believe me. I'm under oath here, and I'm telling you the truth.
And I'm telling you, I don't believe you used the computer, Mr. Schultz. I believe you came back and tried to get back into your room, and they wouldn't let you back into the room. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you saying that I would not notice that there was beer poured all over my computer when I returned?
I'm saying, sir, that you have no proof that she poured the beer on your computer.
I do have proof that she was the one that, before the beer was poured over the computer, it punched me in the face and was going insane.
Listen to me. You have no proof that she poured beer on your computer. That's what you're suing for. Laptop computer. And you don't have proof that she did it. Sorry, Mr. Schultz. Don't have it. Shouldn't have beer parties in your dorm room. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. Step out, please.
He was harassing me, abusively harassing me in the hallway, calling me vulgar names.
There were pistachio nuts sitting on my desk, and I threw them at her before I left the room as a joke.
I told him if he didn't, leave me alone, then I was going to hit him.
We were still friends up until that point where she struck me in the face.
And I hit him. And then he started threatening that he was going to, quote, kick my because he didn't care if I was a girl.
I would never want to see her again, and I'm sorry that I have to go to the school with her.
With friends like that, who needs enemies? And I don't want to deal with that.
22-year-old receptionist Tyada Jordan is suing her ex-boyfriend, 28-year-old realtor Freddie Hill, for filing false charges with the police. Freddie is countersuing for damage to a hotel room and defamation of character.
All rise. Thank you. Your Honor, this is case number 78 on the calendar in the matter of Jordan versus Hill. Parties have been sworn in. You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Miss Jordan, Mr. Hill is a former boyfriend of yours and the father of your child.
Right.
You want him to pay you damages because you claim that he filed a false application for a protective order against you.
Right.
Because of that, you suffered certain legal costs, you lost time from work, and you suffered as a result of emotional damage.
Right.
Mr. Hill says everything he said in that application for an order of protection or protective order was true, and he is counterclaiming because he says that you damaged some property in a hotel room when you had a hissy fit about something. He had to pay for it. And then he says that you made some false statements about him when you applied to the court for child support, and he wants to be compensated for that. Is that right, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So it's clear that you filed a petition for a protective order against the plaintiff. Do you want to tell me when you filed that and why?
I filed the petition December 9th. The reason why was on December 3rd, I came home to my house after work.
Were you living with the plaintiff at the time?
We stayed together, not officially living together. She stayed there maybe like 4 to 5 days out the week.
With your son?
Yes, with my son.
Just the three of you?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you came home on December 3rd and?
Prior to that same day when I was at work, we had had a confrontation over the telephone.
About what?
That was the day I told her I was getting ready to go see the people as far as the district attorney child support people.
What do you mean you were going to see the people about
Well,
child support?
prior to that, I had been served with papers to go, a lawsuit she filed against me.
For?
And I had to, for child support.
When did you file a petition for child support against him?
I can't remember the exact day, but it was early 2002.
Why did you do that?
We had separated, and during our relationship, he never really helped me out with anything.
So you went to court at a time when you were not together, or you were together?
We were separated. I went down, picked up a packet, filled it out, turned it in. That basically started the process for
child support. And then you sort of got back together again?
We got back together.
And you didn't go to court to let them know that you were back together?
No, we didn't.
No, you didn't?
I did, no.
Not he.
Your Honor, can I say something? She made a false statement to you about a minute ago, and I just want to verify that. She had stated that I never supported her with my child. I financially supported her. I have proof right here. Each and every month since my child was 6 weeks old, he was in a hospital. I have the backs to every check that I've given to her. I already made false statements.
How old is your son?
My son is exactly 1 year, 2.5 months right now.
Looks like he gives you money pretty regularly. Who's Larry? Rent, $600.
Oh, that's my landlord.
Well, that's not money for her.
I'm sorry, that's a separate one that came with it.
Don't try to slip anything in on me. I'm too sharp.
Sorry, Your Honor.
There we go. All right, so he gave you money every month, even though he was not under a court obligation to do that.
Right.
Right, okay. So you had an argument with her on December 3rd. What happened when you got home on December 3rd?
When I got home on December 3rd, I opened the door, walked in my house, Your Honor, took 3 steps.